Hello and welcome to the channel if you're new here. If you're not new here, well, welcome back. My name is Renee and I have in front of me our project that we're going to make, the Arise and Shine Beaded Crochet Pendant. These are two different variations. There are so many different possibilities and we will not pre-string beads as always. One thing that I want to tell you, if you didn't know, I previously created a tutorial for the Arise and Shine earrings that pair perfectly with these pendants. So I'll link that for you. Now, as I said, we have two variations. We're actually going to work this variation today, okay? These pendants, they have a bail. It allows you to put them onto a cord, a necklace cord like this one, or onto a chain for a totally different look. And we'll talk about that later. Also, so we will be taking cabochons or cabs for short, and we will be enclosing them into beautiful beads and yarn. Okay. And you can, these are made of jasper, but you can also make your own. I made my own here. It's just a clear glass cab and I painted it, put glitter and stuff. And I may do a video later on how I make these, but you can literally look up how to paint your own cabs. Let me put a photo of the necklace on a necklace stand. I'm going to put that on the screen for you right here. And so now you can see how it falls in the neck and get an idea of what it looks like. And I think the only thing, I'm trying to think that, no, the only thing we need to do is to get started. So let's begin. We will use Begonia by Yarn Art. It is a 100% mercerized cotton yarn in a fine sports weight. You can use another brand if you want to. That's fine. As long as it's mercerized cotton, that's what will work for this project. And then we're going to use this beautiful kind of medium shade purple color. I'll put the exact color number in the description for you. We'll be using two different hook sizes for today's project. The first one is a B 2.25 millimeter hook, and that's for crocheting the majority of the project. And then when we start adding beads, we'll switch over to our 1 millimeter hook. That will enable us to work through the bead holes. You can put the 1 millimeter aside for now. You can also place your cabochon aside for now. Let's grab one stitch marker and we will begin. So leave yourself about a 4-inch tail. You don't need more than that. Do not make a slip knot. Instead, what we're going to do is, so here's the tail and here's the working part of the strand. We're going to cross the working part of the strand over the tail just like this. Let me see if you can see it like that, okay? And then hold that in place. And we're going to chain 2. So let's chain 1. Hold that first chain open like I have it here, and then chain another, make another chain. We're going to work into that first chain, working over that tail. We're going to work 8 single crochet. So beginning here, 1, and then you can use that stitch marker at this point to mark that first stitch, just like that. And then let's finish making the rest of those single crochet. 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is 8. Let me double check just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. So at this point, we can form a ring. And because we didn't do a slip knot, we can just tug this tail gently and close into a ring. You see how easy that was? And there is our magic ring. All right. Now, to join the round, we're going to use the invisible join. If you've been to the channel before, you know, but I'll show you again. Go ahead and take that loop off the hook. Flip your work around to the wrong side. And then here's this first single crochet. I'm going to remove the marker real quick to show you. You're going to insert your hook into that first single crochet from the wrong side. Put the loop back onto the hook and simply draw it through that first stitch just like this. Okay, make sure that working yarn stays on the wrong side and doesn't cross over to the front. And then you can flip it back around to the right side. And now you see that first and last stitch, they're right next to each other, and that's what we want, so that we have a nice, neat join every time we work. Let's go on to work round number 1. Next, we begin our increase rounds. What we're making is a sort of shallow beaded cup. We put the cabochon inside and then we secure it. So for this increase part, we're going to increase until we get to the very edge of the cabochon. So we'll stop at the edge. Now your cabochon may be smaller or larger. So wherever that falls, that's where you'll stop. You'll stop at the edge of whatever size you have. I actually am going to crochet 4 increase rounds for this size. So let's put that aside. I'm going to grab my work and I'm going to, no beginning chains. We won't use beginning chains for this project. Go ahead and for every stitch in this round, number 1, you're going to work 2 single crochet into every stitch. 2 single crochet is our increase. So 2 single crochet into every stitch of this round. When you finish, you will end up with 16 single crochet, and then you will work that invisible join and move on to round 3. So continue and meet me back. Round number 2, we're going to single crochet into the next stitch, which is the first stitch. And then in the next stitch after that will increase, which is 2 single crochet into that stitch. So that's your repeat pattern. Single crochet into the next stitch, and then 2 single crochet into the stitch after that. And then you'll continue to the end of the round. You'll work the invisible join, and then you will have 24 single crochet. So continue and meet me back. Here I am at round 3, and you can already see that invisible join at work. It looks pretty much seamless, which is what we want. You also may notice that your work is a little wavy at this point, which is fine, because once we put the cabochon inside of it, it will lay flat and look really beautiful like the one that you saw. So row 3, go ahead and single crochet into the next, beginning with that first stitch, into the next 2 stitches, single crochet into the next 2 stitches, and then increase. So 2 single crochet into the stitch after that. And that's the pattern for this one. So single crochet into the next 2 stitches, each of the next 2 stitches, and then 2 single crochet into the stitch after that. You will end up with 32 single crochet for this round. Meet me back when you are done. Round 4, this is the final increase round for me for my size cab or cabochon. You're going to single crochet into the next 3 stitches, beginning with that first stitch, and then increase into the next stitch after that. So 2 single crochet into the stitch after that. So you see the pattern here. And if you need to make this larger, for the next round, you will single crochet into the next 4 stitches and then increase and so on, okay? So go ahead and finish this round. Remember to invisible join, and then when you come back, we will add bead. Here has been completed round 4 with 40 single crochet stitches total. Something else I forgot to mention about the invisible join, not only does it look nice, but it keeps the stitches within the round even, and that will keep our beads even within the round once we add them, versus working in a spiral where the beads will be, just a little bit off center. They won't be aligned with one another is what I'm trying to say. Now let me hold that piece against my cap right here. And yes, it reaches the edge, so that's what we're looking for. And now we can start to add beads. So I'm going to switch out hooks at this point. I'm going to use my smaller hook right here. That's the 1mm hook, and put the other one aside. So these are the 6/0 Miyuki Rocaille beads. You can use another brand if you want to. They're in I'll put the exact color for you in case you want it, but you can use any color you want, any brand you want. And we're going to, beginning with that, using that small hook, we're going to begin the repeat with a single crochet, and just, work slower because the hook is smaller. And then the next one is a beaded single crochet. So place a bead onto the hook, insert the hook into that next stitch, yarn over, draw up a loop, and then draw through the bead hole. Now you have 2 loops on the hook. And notice I kind of slide them down to make the loops bigger, and then yarn over, draw through those 2 loops. And then there's your beaded single crochet. And then you'll single crochet into that next stitch, working that repeat. Okay, and then let's do another beaded crochet just to show you. The bead on the hook, insert the next stitch, yarn over, draw through the stitch, and draw through the loop, and then yarn over, draw through those 2 loops. All right, and you will continue that repeat sequence until you get to the end. Your last stitch will be a beaded single crochet, and you will do the invisible join once again, and we'll go to the next round. I have finished round 1 of adding those 6/0 seed beads to my work. There are 20 beads total, and they are nice and aligned thanks to that invisible join. So let's go into round 2, where we'll begin that round by adding a bead to our hook. This is a decrease round, by the way. And we're going to work a beaded single crochet into that very first stitch. So let's do that. And then to decrease, you simply skip the next stitch. Work a beaded single crochet. So that's our pattern. Beaded single crochet. Split my yarn a bit. It happens with a smaller hook. That's why I like to go slowly with this hook. Okay, skip the next stitch, beaded single crochet, skip, and all the way to the end of the round. Don't join when you finish. Just wait for me, and we'll talk about the next steps. You're going to add 20 additional beads and it'll be a decrease, but don't join the round. Okay, I'll see you there. I finished that last round and now I have, as you can see, a little beaded enclosure. I have not joined the round. I'm going to take my cab and place it inside like this, pressing everything. And you can see it was wavy before, but now it's nice and fitted. Okay, so do that. And you see I have a drill hole in this particular cab. That's fine because in this last round, I'm going to cover that up. So don't worry about it if you also have one that's similar. All right, I've got this in here. Remember this last stitch was a skipped stitch, right? I'm going to put this loop back onto my hook and I'm going to simply slip stitch to this first beaded crochet stitch here. Now remember, don't slip stitch here. The top of the stitch is actually right here and it can get a little buried. I'm going to take my time and grab it. There we go. And then you just simply slip stitch to join the round from there. And I'm going to pull everything together, tighten that up a little bit. Okay, there we go. And it's in there. Now we're going to work our final round. You can stay with the Rocaille beads if you want to, or you can do what I'm going to do for the original pattern, which is switch over to Delica beads. So let's do that. This is the final round of adding beads, and in my case, they're going to be these 80 Delica beads. I'll have the color for you in the description. Remember, you can also continue by using the Rocaille beads. That's fine as well. So this round, we're going to work beaded slip stitches, and this is how we do it. We're going to place a bead onto the hook, and then place that loop back onto the hook and draw it through the bead hole. Skip this first stitch and slip stitch into the next stitch. And that's your first beaded slip stitch. You're going to work this first stitch that we skipped, you'll work that last. We're going to add 20 beads all together. So go ahead and take that loop off the hook, place a bead onto the hook, and then draw that hole, loop through the bead hole and slip stitch into the next stitch. You will do that for every single stitch of this round, adding 20 of those beads, and then do not join at all. Okay, don't join for this final round. And so go ahead and continue to do that. I will do the same and meet me back here. I'm at the end of the round, and I thought I'd show you a little bit more in detail what I mean about how we finish this round. So here's my bead on the hook. I'm going to draw the loop through the bead hole, and then I already cut my tail, as you can see. It's about 4 inches. I'm going to work that slip stitch, beaded slip stitch into this is the first stitch around, the one that we skipped. I'm going to work it into that stitch. Okay. And now I have a loop on my hook. I can just pull that loop through. I don't need to join anything. And from here, I can thread it onto a tapestry needle. Now, I have one thin enough that fits through the beads, and I'll put the size for you there. If you don't have a thin one like that on hand, you can always use the hook to draw the tail through this bead right here, the next bead hole. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to draw it through with the needle. It's a lot easier this way, but you can always use the hook, okay? And then from there, you're just going to take it to the wrong side. I usually take it all the way down to the bottom here and just weave it in. What I like to do, everything is fiddly for me today. Isn't that the life of us crafters, I tell you? All right, so I'm just going to take this around one of these stitch legs like that, and then loop it around like I normally do, and then go ahead and, knot it first. And that's actually, to be fair, quite secure. I'm going to make sure everything's kind of lined up. And then you can do another knot if you want extra security in that. There we go. I'll do one more. And then I'll just take it inside, pull it inside, and then clip it with the scissors right there. All right. Now there is one more step that I like to do. And so let me grab my jewelry glue and move all this stuff out of the way. This is optional, but I like to do it. This before I add the bail is what I'm talking about. I like to add, I use this jewelry hypo cement. I've used it for a long time. Use it in a well-ventilated area. And I'm going to turn, after I make sure that everything looks nice. Okay, and then I'm happy with not only the colors of the beads and everything, but how the cab is sitting within the bead enclosure. I'm going to flip it to the back side, and I will put a little bit of a couple of drops in the middle and in the stitches, between the stitches of the first, that first round that we did around that ring, just right there. You don't need a lot. And then I will let that dry completely. And what that does is just keeps everything in place. It keeps it from shifting, okay? So I'm going to let that dry, and then I'll show you how to put on your belt. I had the two pendants side by side, and although they are similar stones, you can see that we created some very unique variations just by playing around with bead and yarn colors. And they both look stunning. We also focused in on the colors within the stones themselves to create each unique look. And that's the beauty of pre-stringing, not pre-stringing beads, is that you can play around with the colors, and you can, if you don't like a bead color, you can substitute it for another or bead type. Now, let's talk about bail options. You already saw the snap-on bail at the beginning of the video that I have on this one. That's this right here. And then you have the option of a simple jump ring. Okay. And then the third option is a pinch style bail. That's what this is right here. So I'm going to show you the pinch style bail. Oh, keep in mind that this one is made to, open and close. So you can place it on any cord. You don't have to string the cord or chain through it if you don't want to. These are made to be permanently closed once put into place. So you need to make sure the opening is large enough for a cord or a chain to pass through the opening. All right. So in that round where we added beads, you were going to take your bail, and that's the case with any of these. You're going to take your jump ring or bail, and you're going to place them in between any of those two beads and just loop them around the strands between the two beads. So I'm going to do that right now. All right, I've got it looped around. And for the pinch bail, I'm inserting it this way towards the wrong side, because for the pinch bail, you're going to need to close that with some pliers. So let me do that quickly. You're just going to squeeze it close. Some bails are you can close with your fingers, but I'd rather just use some pliers. And there it is. It's closed. And now you can reseat it. You can lastly add a drop to the base of that bail. You can add a drop of jewelry glue there so that keeps it in place and keeps it secure there. You can also do the same with the hinge bail. What you want to do with the one with the snap-on bail is you want to tilt it forward so the hinge is out of the way, put your glue there, and then reseat it so that the glue is not on the hinge, and let that air dry. And then you're done. You're ready to hang it onto your cord or chain. I hope you've enjoyed this project. I will see you later. Thank you for hanging out with me, and you have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.